morning from the Olympic Peninsula. MountainManDan here. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. It is a brisk, something under 50 degrees today, and you throw in the salty breeze, it feels pretty cool. I have a topic today that is one of my favorites, one of the more important ones for I think most people, and it's riding. Not riding a bike, riding on paper, laying pen to paper, getting your thoughts out of your head. I have been a journaler for a lot of my life, and here's a story behind why. I started writing because of my grandmother. In a video from last week, you can view it here, I explain how she got me writing on gratitude and how that has impacted my life and how it can impact yours. But an even greater impact was what she did after I started with the gratitude practice. So we didn't always do gigantic Christmas exchanges. It was about getting together and us talking and getting to know each other at different levels. So throughout the year, long before Christmas, she would send the family a series of questions. Those questions ranged from who are the three most important people in your life and why? What are your convictions and how do they present themselves in your daily life? I gave you some money last year to put towards a good deed. What did you do and how did it affect you? And I've got plenty more of those questions. Look in the description below and I'll post some options for you to start your own journaling journey. But they were questions geared at you digging below the surface and starting to think about your life. How has my year been? How has it affected me? What have I gone through? And what am I doing to get through it? What are my strategies? What's working for me and what is not working for me? Those types of questions that really do create quite a self-assessment and help you analyze as to where am I right now? Am I growing? What am I doing to get through it? And how can I be better? What could I be adding to my current regimen that could help me navigate this turbulent time in life? Now, I am a big fan of riding. Sorry, Coop is right at my feet here on the beach. When I've had a dry spell and I haven't ridden in a while and I'm trying to get back into that, one thing I do is just start with a pen on the paper and I answer the question, who am I? And that can go so many different directions. And that will pull a lot out of you. And there are so many other questions you can ask yourself. And if you do need more examples, please utilize the resources below because they can absolutely get you started with about a month to 2 months of prompts that I'm including with that. There's also many other things you can do to get writing. You can just set a timer and go for 15 minutes. It's always a great start just to see where it takes you. It doesn't always have to be answering that specific question, but 15 minutes is more than enough to start getting things out of your head and somewhere else. If you've ever listened to Kevin Kelly and just his style of information out there, if you've ever listened to anything on organization and life and how to get things done, it is not about trying to remember everything. We can never remember everything, but we shouldn't keep everything in our heads. Our heads, or let's say our brain specifically, is a thinking device. It's not a storage device. I think that's why I am quite, I call it seek and destroy, but when it comes to getting things done, doing work, accomplishing goals, I get it out of my head and I keep it very visual. I write it down and I have it posted throughout my van or wherever I am significantly seeing things, and I want to make sure that I'm laying eyes on it daily to get to that thing, accomplish it, and reach that goal. Another really cool thing that Nan did for me was she always listened and hung on to our ideas, and I think it was a great thing to always recenter us and point us back at our goals. So this aspect of the story has to do with how I even got to accomplishing the van. Is I was really interested to see if my grandmother, who had already been through the 50s, 60s, and 70s when it comes to surf culture, van life, and that stuff developing, and she'd seen it. It wasn't new to her, but she was surprised when I told her that I wanted to live in a van. I drew her a blueprint to show her how I was going to do it, what it would look like. She took it all in. It was hilarious, and she did hold on to my van blueprint and gave it back to me before she passed away. And it was just a great message of her saying, Dan, if you really want to do this, you need to keep it in front of you And I've still got that blueprint, and it stuck with me until I had the van complete, which was so valuable in her legacy, but just me recognizing this is something that's really important to me, and I want to do my best to try to get it to a reality. Another aspect that is really cool to the story of my grandmother, us riding, is those letters that we wrote her started, I would say, early teens. So about a decade or more, we wrote to her and then had that conversation over the holidays. Those conversations always brought us together. Sometimes it was post-meal, and then we did just a small exchange, and then we got right down to the business of us talking about what's been going on with us. And after she had passed, I got word that she had asked me to speak at her celebration of life, and it was not hard to write it. I'm a writer now. She had sort of groomed me into being quite a writer, but it was a project for me to make sure that I could deliver the message of what she has done for me, my folks, and my brother, as to how she did get us writing and really processing life as an experience and making sure that we're using an assessment to make it better every year, better for us, better to the people in our lives. The message ultimately was what a person can do for you on that front, as to just getting you doing something small, like writing, and becoming a better person. That's a massive impact on you and in your life and the people that you come encounter with. You know, she ultimately gave us 15 years of us self-developing and really deeply thinking about our lives. I'm coming up with fewer words now to describe it, now that I'm trying to document this. But she gave us an ultimate gift. She showed us how we went from young men to adults, and we have the journey documented. We got all of our letters back with responses, and she kept them in a safety deposit box for us for over a decade and gave those back to us. And I just remember going through those and reading them and looking at me as a 13-year-old wakeboarder to now a physical therapy school graduate, and at the time about to get married. And what a time. I look back and I'm so grateful that I have that documentation of my own writing, and then of hers and her responses, and how she viewed what was going on in our lives, and validating that the process was deep and a very colorful journey at that. Thanks for listening to MountainManDan Story Time. One of my favorite stories, and one that I go through with all of my clients when it comes to coaching, and I stress the importance of writing, is because it really can be such a gift to you. And the more you do it, the more you process it, it is such a tool for you to get things out of your head and elsewhere, where you can use those thoughts, organize them, and put them into something meaningful for you. I'm gonna finish this walk with Coop. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, share it, and comment below if there's something else that you'd like to hear about from me. Have a good day.